Hi everyone, this is a short back care sequence to do at the beginning, middle, or end of your day. As always, there's a variety of different back stuff that we're all living with, and so pay attention to what feels good in your body. If you feel any pulling or twinging or crunching, we want to avoid those and just rest instead. So we're going to use a strap. I'm just using an old jump rope. You can use a belt or tie. Something to put your legs up on, like a chair or couch, and a blanket if you want it. We'll start on our backs, so coming down when you're ready to elbows, tucking the tail, releasing the spine down. Hands on the belly. We'll take a few deep breaths. Inhaling into the belly, feeling it expand, and exhaling, releasing. The palms soften towards the floor. Imagining that with your inhales, you're creating length between each of the vertebrae in the spine. And space in the back. With your next inhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a little rock side to side. You might roll the ankle. And then find your strap, wrap it around the ball of your right foot, and reach the right leg up into the sky. We're going to pause here, reaching up through the heel, grounding through the femur bone, finding that stretch through the back of your right leg. Couple things to pay attention to. Left foot presses into the floor. And then notice the lower back here and try to keep that neutral curve. So there's a little bit of a curve in the lower back. It's not glued to the ground. And it's not arching away. Somewhere in the middle. So pressing the lower part of the sacrum, that bone at the back of the spine, at the back of the pelvis, into the ground. Couple more breaths here. And then bring both ends of the strap into the right hand. Left knee lifts in line with the right. Turn the right toes and the right knee out, and then let the legs fall away from one another. Staying balanced in the back of the pelvis so you don't rock to either side. Stretching the inner edge of your right leg. And again, checking in with the back here. We want the weight right in the back of the pelvis, around the sacrum, not in the lower back. And then we inhale, bring the legs together, release the strap, cross the ankle over your left thigh, bring the left leg in for figure four, grab a hold of the back of the thigh, flex the right foot, think about the inner thigh of that right leg moving away from your belly. And again, the sacrum is pressing down towards the tailbone. So there's just a little bit of lightness between the lower back and the floor. One more breath in here. With your exhale, left foot to the floor. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, right foot steps down. Inhale, the left knee in towards the chest. Roll the ankle. Give it a couple rocks side to side. And then find your strap. Wrap it around the ball of the left foot. Reach the left leg up towards the ceiling. So we're active through the left foot. Right foot presses down. Really pressing the thigh bone, the femur, towards the floor, as if you're planting the trunk of your leg into the ground. It's a little bit of lightness between your lower back and the floor. We're looking for the stretch in the back of the leg. It doesn't matter how far the leg is towards you, as long as you're getting that stretch. And then transfer both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right knee lifts in line with the left. Turn the left toes and the left knee out as you let the legs fall away from one another. Stretching the inner edge of your left leg. Balance even in the pelvis. Core holding you up. To turn up the volume, turning your left toes and knee more towards the floor. Couple more breaths. And inhale the knees together. Exhale the right foot to the floor. Bend through the left knee, cross the ankle over your right thigh. Draw the right leg in. Flex through that left foot. Think about the inner edge of your left leg moving away from you as you draw the right leg in. You can also put the right foot on a block or a chair here. And then see what happens when you roll towards the tailbone. So bring a little more space between the lower back and the floor to really bring the stretch into that deep hip and out of the back. And one more breath in. Exhale, right foot to the floor. Inhale, left leg lifts. exhale, left foot to the floor. Roll to one side. Inhale, press up to a tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread the fingers out wide. Tuck and spread your toes. Inhale, cow pose, lift the crown, lift the tail, hug shoulder blades together. Exhale, round to cat. We'll do that 2 more times. Getting that cerebrospinal fluid moving up and down the spine. And then we'll come back to neutral. Slide the right toes back on the mat, crawl the left fingertips forward. Inhale, lift the right toes and the left fingertips. If this feels like a lot, we'll lower the left fingertips and just focus on the right toes. In either case, belly is drawing up and in, hugging your left shoulder towards your right hip. Deep breaths. And exhale, release the right knee, release the left hand. Curl the left toes back, right fingertips forward. Inhale, lift. And breathe here. Hugging right shoulder towards left hip. Belly drawing up and in to support you from underneath. Back of the neck is long. Right fingertips can rest on the floor instead if that feels better today. One more breath in. Exhale, release the right hand, release the left knee. Walk the hands forward about 1 hand's length, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the knees away from the floor and then slide the hips up and take them back. Downward facing dog. Now let's actually keep a good bend in the knees here. Really press into the hands and lift the tailbone. So the spine is allowed to lengthen instead of having an arch in the back. We're just keeping that long spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet to meet your hands, top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees generously, hands to hips. Inhale, rise. We're going to take a stretch at the front of the quads here. You can use a wall or a chair to help with balance. We'll start with the left foot. We'll lift it up, grab a hold of the ankle. Stretch the front of that quad. Think about a magnet at the kneecap, left kneecap, and a magnet on the floor, drawing the kneecap towards the floor. So the knees are going to come more in line with one another. And that should increase the stretch through the front of your hip flexor there. Couple more breaths. And with your next exhale, release, and we'll switch sides. Reaching back, grabbing a hold of the right ankle. Imagine that magnet, right knee being pulled down towards the floor, so the knees come in line. Want to keep the heart nice and open, the crown of the head lifting. Stretching that whole front quad, hip flexors. One more breath in, and exhale, release. Hands to the hips here. Let's take some pelvic tilt. So inhaling, we'll untuck the tailbone. Exhaling, we'll tuck. We'll do that just a few times to bring some mobility into the pelvis and lower back. Again, if there's any pinching or anything, we're going to just make that motion a little less grand. Do a little more subtle movement. Come back to center, find the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, hands come to the hips, soften the knees, fold. Bring the hands down to the floor, bending the knees to do so. Reach one foot back, and then the other, finding your downward facing dog with bent knees. Inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, knees to the earth. Shoulders come over your wrists. Inhale here, exhale, lower down to the floor. Forehead meets the ground. Hover the hands, untuck the toes. Pull the shoulder blades together, and inhale, lift the heart like there's a string attached to the back of the heart and it's lifting towards the ceiling. Couple of breaths here, using the strength of the upper back, shoulder blades pulling together, back of the neck is long. Breathe in, and exhale, release forehead to mat. Inhale, press up to your tabletop. Exhale, find a child's pose. And let's take a little bit of width between the knees so you can relax fully, let the spine be long. Arms reach out in front of you. It might feel good to press down through the hands and press the tailbone towards the floor here. And then with your inhale coming forward, exhale will lower down back towards the earth. Reach forward with the left arm, roll over the shoulder and onto your back once again. We're just going to end with a little bit of core work, so hands come to your hips, legs come to 90. Glue the lower back to the mat so the belly engages and moves towards the floor. Inhale, exhale, touch the floor with the right heel. Inhale, exhale, touch the floor with the left heel. Continue with your breath. If this feels like a lot and you feel the back lifting away from the floor as you lower the heel, then just stay here with the legs at 90, focusing on drawing the belly in, so hip points move towards one another like a corset, and then towards the floor. To turn up the volume, touch the heel. To turn down, touch the toe. And you can even experiment with straightening the legs. Go ahead and take one more on either side if that's what you're doing, a little bit more slowly, like half the speed. And then both feet come to the floor. Relax the spine, relax the belly. Roll to one side, press up, and we'll take about a minute of Shavasana. This is where I would encourage you to put your legs up on a chair. You might use a blanket to support the head. You can also put your legs up on a couch or any chair that you have, really an ottoman. Tuck your tailbone, elbows first, then releasing down. Allowing the body to be soft and relaxed. Letting the whole spine lengthen and soften and release. Letting the bones be heavy like lead and the muscles to relax away from the bones. Letting the breath slow down and even out. If you have the time, I welcome you to stay here for a few more minutes. It just gets better for your back and for your body. If not, thanks for practicing.